Yeah, that was interesting. Like Revival really ran through the ringer, so to speak, before it even got off the ground. But you know, this is that day and age. You know, it's
Oh
different
yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, how have you adjusted to that? Like before, which is what I find interesting about you. Before, you spent your whole career being critiqued and criticized by organizations like LGBTQ community or college campuses or
Yeah.
police departments. You know, but hip hop always stood by you. So that was,
Yeah.
you know, that's where you found your refuge. But now it came from inside of hip hop. You know, how did that affect you?
Me sitting back and seeing things that I saw, it was kind of like, I felt a bunch of different ways. I felt like, okay, maybe because it doesn't sound like everything else and what most people are doing, maybe that was what tainted their ear. Because I remember a time in hip hop where you had to be so different from the next person or you were trash. There's a shift somewhere that happened that if it doesn't sound like everything else, then it's trash automatically.
Yeah.
And I just sat back like, okay, all right, I can take that. It's not like I can't take constructive criticism, but I feel like it kind of went beyond constructive criticism. So I had to go back to it and look, I have made albums that definitely probably would not be the top of my list. Encore.
Okay.
Relapse, which I believe Encore is a better album than Relapse. Relapse is something that I looked at in a couple of years, went back to and cringed at. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't even realize I was doing that many accents. I just started, for whatever reason, I just got into it and was just like, started on this weird serial killer vibe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And started wanting to talk crazy and started bending words more. And the only way you can bend them is with this accent, trying to use this one. And a couple years later, in making recovery and slipping out of that, getting out of the accents and beyond it, made recovery.
Yeah.
And I always say that if it wasn't for Relapse, I wouldn't have been able to make recovery. And if it wasn't for Revival, I wouldn't have been able to make this album. So I'm good with it. It just, some people more than others went a little far with it.
A little far with it.